Snipperclips! Snipperclips has at last been confirmed for launch in the US and in Europe and in Japan. So pretty much a worldwide launch for the Switch. It's really exciting because a lot of people have had their eye on this game for a while.
Us included, yeah.
And to bring you up to speed real quick, this is interesting because this is a game that was actually formed by an indie team a couple years ago. It was called Friendships. And when they presented their pitch at, I believe, GDC 2015, Nintendo liked the way the game looked. They had like a vertical slice of the game and kind of had it running, and it already looked really good after a couple months of development time. So Nintendo is now producing it, and it says they're developing it as well. I don't really know what that means because that doesn't really make sense to me. Like, did they just buy out this property entirely, or is this team still doing it? Anyway, one thing led to another. Now we have Snipperclips coming out March 3rd. It's going to be an eShop title, so the eShop will be up and running right from the beginning, right from the start, for $19.99. Snipperclips will be $19.99. So cost of one of those $20 eShop cards should be sufficient. Well, actually, you probably have to pay tax, so you'll have to pay tax. Anyway, this is a game about two pieces of paper. How would you describe it, Chris?
It's like a really cute puzzle game. Yeah,
you're solving physics-based puzzles.
Yeah, so this seems like a really good title for people who don't usually play games. So like, I would think of playing it with my fiance because it's really cute and it's really simple. It just involves, the way you rotate the controller, use it intuitively.
The core gameplay is your two shapes, and you can overlap and then snip the other character where you overlap to cut them out into specific shapes to help you solve puzzles. Like you might need to make one of them pointy to pop a balloon. You might need to make one of them look like a hook to kind of hook onto an object to pull it up or to pull it down. And it's just got a lot of personality. It looks really fun, and I'm pretty sure most of you have seen it or heard it and heard about it in some form. So it definitely seems like the kind of game that would be a great complement to the big adventure of Zelda at launch. Now, Nintendo's also announced this Snipperclips Joy-Con bundle. Have you seen this? This is like the red and the blue Joy-Con together with a code, a download code of the game.
And does that come with essentially Snipperclips for free, or is it a slightly more expensive?
That's a good question. It probably costs a little bit more because I can't imagine why anyone would buy just the separate Joy-Cons in that case. I imagine it would cost maybe $10 more if I had to guess. But it hasn't actually been confirmed for the US yet. It was just for Europe and I believe Japan have it coming out. So as of this recording, we don't know yet. If it is coming out in the US, though, I definitely consider getting it because between that and my neon, Joy-Con Switch, that means I could make an all red Switch or an all blue Switch, which is cool.
Yeah,
and
I like how they're doing that.
And put the other controllers in the grip. So that's tempting. Even though right now, if you put the blue and the red controller in the grip, it reminds me of Neapolitan ice cream. It's got like the three strips. You got the chocolate.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah. Or astronaut ice cream. You ever had that?
No, actually.
It's like freeze dried and it's all blocky and delicious. It's great. I love astronaut ice cream. Those astronauts, they just don't know how good they have it. They're delicious ice cream.
It seems like a much better introduction to the Switch than 1-2-Switch does. $50 for 1-2-Switch. It's getting a lot of lukewarm impressions. This game, it's only $20 and just seems to have its act together a little more. Like, it has a very simple gameplay premise. Just like 1-2-Switch, it's really good for non-gamers or people who are only casual gamers.
Yeah. I think we're going to have our own episode about 1-2-Switch, but I do think that Snipperclips is a very unique concept, and it's kind of an easy sell from the get-go when you see it in action. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. I understand why this is appealing. And it supports up to 4 players, which is cool.
Oh, 4 players, really? I thought it was just 2.
Yeah, there's like a battle mode in it, I think, like a versus mode.
Oh.
Not exactly sure how that works. The only real thing I'm a little concerned about with Snipperclips is I'm not entirely convinced the one-player content is going to be very good. From what I understand, you control both characters still, but you switch between them. And that reminds me a little too much of Triforce Heroes one-player content, where it was actually very tedious to go through the same stages as you would with multiple players. So it was very enjoyable with multiple players, but with one player you're kind of stacking up and you're throwing one guy and you're switching. It's very slow paced, So I mean, I might be wrong. They might have a slew of unique levels for one player that work really well with the switching element. But for now, I'm a little skeptical of that. But the main 2-player mode looks like it'd be a lot of fun for for me and my wife, for instance.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a multiplayer game to me. I hadn't thought about it being a single player game.
I don't think there's any footage of it running in single player, which kind of furthers my thought of it, mainly being for multiplayer. But that's okay, because we have a big single player game coming out, and it is called Justice 2014. So Snipperclips. Looks pretty good. Anything else about this game?
No, it's just kind of a funny looking game.
It's a funny looking game.
Funny looking little game.
Snipperclips. Yep. So you should probably buy it. It's probably gonna be good.
Yeah.
But if not,
although I'd wait and see what the single player is like. So it might be the sort of thing where, like you said, if you have someone you're gonna play it with regularly, it's probably really fun.
Yeah.
But
yeah, this is definitely a local multiplayer game, which would work well for the portability of the Switch too, I believe.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
So just make sure you get some friends floating around, get some friends going where you're going, and you should have a good time with it.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, stick around because we're going to be updating every day for the 12 Days of Switchmas until the Switch launch. And then we'll shut you guys all out because we'll be playing Zelda and Snipperclips.
Yeah, but then shortly after we'll be back to talk about Zelda a lot, I'm sure.
Yeah. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. All right, well, thanks for listening, guys.
Snipperclips.
Snipperclips out.
Snipperclips out. That's a brand new sensation that's sweeping the nation.
One can hope.
I don't know what that is. I like the old timey racetrack announcer guy. I don't know what that is.
With Mr. and Mrs. Snipperclips.
It's like a vaudevillian guy.
Is that their names? Snipperclips?
It's the Snipperclips rag. Yeah, their names are Snip and Clip, I think, or Snipper and Clips. What if your name was Clips instead of Chris? Clips Seward.
I would want my first name to be something that starts with E, so my middle name is Clips.
Eclipse Seward. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher. You don't go by Topher, do you? Like Topher Grace?
No, I think that's a little.
Topher Grace
silly.
had to be different. He didn't want to pick Chris.
Well,
he had to.
Okay, Chris is a very common name. Like everyone is named Chris, which is kind of bothersome. But Topher, nah. Just no.
Topher. It's not even pronounced Topher in the name. It's not Christopher.
No.
It's Christopher. It should be Tougher Grace.
Tougher. That would be better.
Not even tougher. It'd be
Topher.
Topher.
Yeah.
Accents on the fur.
That's a better name. I will consider going by Topher.
Topher Seward.
Yep.
Nobody would pronounce it right. That's like me going by Hugh instead of Matt. Yeah. Hugh Toronto.
Hugh is a name, like a regular name.
Oh, it is a name.
Yeah.
Hugh. I should go by Hugh. That's kind of cool. Hugh.
I wonder if Hugh is short for Matthew.
Like how like Jack is short for John.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense.
Or Bob for
How is Jack
Robert?
short for John?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob for Robert. That's a weird one.
Or
James
Dick for Richard?
Jim.
Dick isn't even close to Richard.
William. How about Bill for William?
I don't know where they get these things. It must be because like everybody must have been named the same thing all the time. And they're like, okay, everyone's named the same thing. We gotta mix it up here, people.
So that's where Tougher came from.
Yep.
Snipperclips. All right, I'll quit this. Super Bomberman R. Hang on, I can do that better. Wait, what's a funnier one? We got a big single player game coming out, and it is called Skylanders. No, we got a big single player game coming out, and it is called. We got a big single player game coming out, and it's called Shovel Knight. Actually, that one's pretty good.